Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Begansky, and I am one of the coaches with Sherri Johnson Coaching. And Sherri will be on shortly, but I'm just going to get us started. Um, can you guys put in the chat? I can see there's 11 of us on the call right now. Can you guys put in the chat where you guys are from? And also give me what your biggest challenge is at the moment in your business. Just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I am an office leader. I have about 100 agents in my office. And I can tell you that right now, my agents are mostly concerned about the change in the market, going from a fall market into a winter market and what's going on in the economy. So I just want to hear from you what your biggest challenges are right now in the marketplace. So go ahead and just put down the biggest thing that's on your mind right now. Okay, so we're going to get started with, as you guys are thinking and putting your locations, where you guys are from, as well as what your challenges are, just want to see who here has been using Goldmine Pipeline on a regular basis. Can you guys put something in the chat? I just want to make sure that I see you guys. Ah, there you are. Okay. Marion, can you unmute yourself? Can you see me? Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on one second. I see there's oh, here we go. Okay, let's see. All right, who has their hand up? Just bear with me for 1 second. Hold on, guys. Wait 1 second. Okay, so what we're going to do while we get this chat thing figured out, just want to see, just kind of talk to you for a second about Goldmine Pipeline and talk to you about one of Sherri's signature programs, which is the Goldmine Pipeline. And one of the things that I think is the most powerful about it is going to be your ability to quantify what business is going on at the moment, as well as planning into the future. So the beauty about Goldmine Pipeline is that you have the ability to track your business in real time, but also to plan ahead in the coming months and years. So one of the things that I really like about it, again, is that the ability to quantify it, but also what it looks like for you to see, what business you have in the next, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, as well as in the next 2 to 3 months, and then the next 6 months into the next couple of years. So when I've worked with some of our coaching students on this, you can really see that they benefit from knowing how much business they can plan out. Because, as agents, and I'm sure you guys are the same way as some of the agents that are in my office, which is that you sometimes are riding the roller coaster, right? You get business, you work on the business, and then you invest a lot of time and energy. You're doing showings, you're doing open houses, you are negotiating offers, you're putting things under contract, and then you sort of forget about your business development activities. And so we end up with this start and stop situation, right? We're going in our business, but not working on planting seeds for the future business. And so once you run out of that current business, right? So you close those things and then you're not busy anymore. And the reason why you're not busy is because you haven't been following up on potential future business. And that's what's great about this system for Goldmine is that you are able to track what's going on right now in your business, stay on top of it, but also make sure that you are making calls and reaching out to people for business that's going to happen down the line. So I'm going to tell you, because this is relevant to us, and until we can get this chat thing figured out, I met with an agent in my office yesterday, and maybe some of you can relate. So it's end of October, right? And if your business, you feel a little bit like your business is slowing down, then so this agent came in to meet with me yesterday. He's had a pretty good year, pretty productive year. And but he doesn't have any business. He has no pendings right now. He just had a couple of closings. And so he just had a couple of closings and he's really happy about that, but he's looking into his pipeline for the next couple of months and he sees a big void. He sees that he doesn't have a lot of business going forward. So what I had him do is I had him sit down yesterday and we filled out the Goldmine pipeline together. And what he's realizing as he's filling this out is that he actually does have a lot of business that is planned for the next, I would say, 4 to 6 months. But what he's missing is that, the next couple of months between now and those 4 to 6 months. So what we did, like I said, is we filled out the Goldmine pipeline together, came up with that he had somewhere between $5 to $6 million in potential sales that were just sitting in his brain someplace, and he's thinking he doesn't really have anything. Well, he does. And then what we've been doing is we've been sitting down and going over a plan, and I'm just going to share that with you because I think it might be relevant to all of you. Over the course of the year, again, you guys are busy. You guys are running around, you're showing properties, you're getting calls, and maybe you're getting calls on rentals, you're getting calls to show calls on your listings. Maybe you've had some open houses, you've had some open house attendees, maybe you have some Zillow leads. Where did all of those leads go? Right? Those were all people that at one point or another, they raised their hand and they said, I am looking to do something. I'm looking to buy, I'm looking to sell, I'm looking to invest, I'm looking to rent, whatever. But for whatever reason, maybe life got in the way for them. Maybe they ended up working with somebody else for a period of time. So what I had him do is start to go through his phone. So this little thing here that we have, our phones, has so much information in it. But we often we work with the people who want to work with us right now, right? So we focus on the business that's right in front of us. But we're not thinking down the line. We're not thinking, hey, this person, maybe they're really not making a move in the next couple of months. Maybe they're making a move in 6 months to a year or 2 years. That's still business. That business hasn't gone away necessarily. So what I had him do, like I said, is go through his phone and I had him search through every single text message. So every text message that he sent to someone that he didn't know or someone, any sort of real estate conversation, I had him write them down and put them on his Goldmine pipeline. Now, many of these, he didn't really know a lot of details, right? He knew someone reached out to, to see a property that he had listed, but never heard back from them. So he sort of dismissed them. He didn't think that they were real people because they ghosted him. They didn't follow up back up with him. So we discount them. So had him put them on the Goldmine pipeline. So all of his text messages, had him go through every single email in the last year, which it's a lot of work, but if you're not updating your Goldmine pipeline on a regular basis, you're going to have some backtracking to do. Had him go through his emails. Another place that I had him look are any sort of social media DMs, right? So we get contacts from ads that we're running, posts that we're running, um, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, any sort of contacts that you had within the last year. Every single one of those people who said, I'm interested in this, or I'm interested in knowing more about this property, and they disappeared. Those are opportunities. And that is potentially right now business. And why I think it's right now business is because if they didn't make a move, now some of them may have made a move. Some of them may have, bought something. Some of them may have, put their property on the market. Totally fine. And maybe they've changed their mind. But those are people, again, that were ready to do something at the time. And I think it's a great opportunity right now for your business if you're looking for business to close between now and the end of the year and early next year, and get those people in for even further ahead into your business. So I see that our chat is working, which is great. So just wanted to respond to a couple of things that were in the chat. So Kevin, you mentioned that one of your biggest concerns is time blocking. And, I admittedly, me too, me too. Um, and so just wanted to acknowledge that. And Tim, you're from Minneapolis. Nice to see you here. And when you say that you don't use the platform, or do you mean that you don't use Goldmine Pipeline? Could you just put a chat in there? Okay, good. All right. So, Sherri's got a lot of different things that she does on Goldmine Pipeline that I would highly recommend. She actually has a challenge coming up in the next couple of weeks. I don't know the dates right off the top of my head, but I can put that. I don't know, Liz, can you put that in the chat what the dates are for the 3-day challenge? There's a 3-day challenge that's coming up, and it's 2 hours a day for 3 days in a row. Thanks, Liz. There's 2 hours a day for 3 days in a row, and she does a deep dive on Goldmine Pipeline. And as someone who not only uses this for, I use it in my office I'm a sales manager, so I use it for recruiting. But the agents of mine that use it in the office for sales find it really, really crucial that they have their business. It's like a business snapshot, and it's right in front of you all the time. So you're taking it out, you're looking at it, you're seeing so you fill it out there's names on it, there's contact information, and there is a dollar value assigned with every single person. And then there's also, you classify them by A, B, and C. So your A people are going to be moving they're going to do something in the next 60 days. Your B people are your, 2 to 6 months people. And your C people are anybody that's going to be doing something. So buying, selling, leasing in the next 6 months to 2 years. So you have right in front of you every single day, you have your business. So you know from that who you need to call, what you need to do with them. And these are people that are, again, who have expressed an interest in real estate, right? You've had some sort of conversation with them. And so it's not your database, right? Your database it'll have some of those people on it, but it's not going to be your database, your full database. Amelia, nice to see you from Albuquerque. And your biggest challenge is having to keep up with potential clients who won't be ready for months. I think that's a challenge that everybody can relate to. So let me just go back to this just to tell you a little bit about the challenge. So it's from November 19th through the 21st from 12 to 2 p.m. So again, it's 3 days. It's 2 hours a day. And Sherri does, so she talks, but there's also group participation. So I did it the last time. She did it in October, and I sat in on the sessions. And I'll give you a couple of highlights for it because I think it sounds like a couple of you might be interested in that. Thanks, Liz. So she's going to put it in the end of the webinar so that you guys can sign up if you're interested. And I would highly recommend it. It's 3 impactful days where you really get to take that time to work on your business. So again, on your business versus in your business. In your business is I'm showing, I'm sitting at home inspection, I'm doing paperwork, I'm entering a listing. That's all in your business work. On your business is where the magic happens, right? You get to really think about the people that you need to engage with and keep on track with them. So I think, Amelia, the Goldmine Pipeline would be really helpful for you to use in your business. In that again, it's like a snapshot of what you need to do and who you need to talk to. And so just a couple of other things about Goldmine Pipeline that I really like is that so you've got all your names, they're all classified for you. And so when you're sitting there looking at your list, things will occur to you. So for example, you've got a couple of names on there, and you've got 2 people who are looking in a particular area. You just happen to be talking to someone in your office who's got a listing that's coming on in that area. Because you're constantly looking at Goldmine Pipeline and you're looking at your list, that's going to jar your memory. You're going to say, hey, I need to reach out to these 2 people who are interested in that area because someone in my office has a listing. And buyers in particular, who doesn't like inside information? We all like thinking that we are getting something before someone else, or we think that we're getting an advantage over other people. And what a great reason to call people on your list, which is, hey, I was just talking to an agent in my office and they have a listing coming up in a neighborhood that I think you might be interested in. Would you like more information on that? And it's the kind of stuff that we take for granted, but in my opinion, that's the stuff that really makes a big difference with potential clients is that we're adding real value there, right? We're adding something that no one else is doing for them. We can send them listings. We can send them, a valuation on their property. But where we really shine as agents is when we do something that's special just for them. And to me, letting somebody know about a listing that's coming on the market before anybody else knows, that's a knock it out of the park kind of a thing, if you ask me. So she's going to put that registration in the list in the chat for you, so you guys can go ahead and sign up if you're interested. And again, I highly recommend it. So let's talk about a couple of these things for you. So let's talk about, we'll talk a little bit about each one of these. So we'll do a little bit on time blocking and then talk a little bit more about keeping in touch with clients over a period of time, okay? So time blocking, personally, I have a love-hate relationship with time blocking, as I'm sure some of you do. The real trick, in my opinion, is again spending a little bit of time when you are quiet. Okay, so quiet now, and most of my agents are a little bit slow. So you might also, I don't know about each of your markets. I don't know how your markets are doing right now, but it's a seasonal shift, which is sort of typical. Take a look at your calendar right now, and I would urge you to start small. Okay. Don't try to make it look like those pretty pictures that like if anybody searches for time blocking online, you're going to see people who have their entire days mapped out, right? They're doing, 1 to 2 hours in the morning of, maybe it's making calls or following up on leads or whatever it is that in particular that you're doing. And they have their entire day scheduled out. In order to make changes, I think you always need to start really small and you need to implement it well so that you feel confident in yourself that you're going to make that commitment to yourself. So don't commit to time blocking 5 days a week, the entire day, right? I think that's really difficult to do. I would start small. I would start with a chunk of time that you are at your, um, that you are at your best, and maybe look at an hour a day, put it on your calendar. And, I'm a morning person. So if I have to do something that I really don't like to do, I need to know that I'm going to bring my best energy for that. And so I'm going to do that sometime in the morning. Okay. I'm going to do that like between 9 and 10 o'clock. So the stuff that I really don't like to do, that's when I'm going to do it. So start small, put it on your calendar for a time that you naturally are feeling good, you're feeling energetic. I try not to time block in the afternoon for myself because I know that that's not going to be the best time. I'm going to do paperwork in the afternoon, right? I'm going to do things like that are kind of not, they're not going to be the highest level for me in the afternoon because that's not my best time. So start small, pick a time that works for you. And again, if it's a lead generation type of time blocking, set it for a time that you've got a lot of energy and you're going to bring your A game, and try that for 5 days. So Kevin, does that kind of answer your question? Does that help you out at all? Like, tell me a little bit more about anything specifically that you're having regarding time blocking. But that would be my recommendation: to start small. Pick a time that's a good time for you, that you feel energetic, if it's really about lead generation, which usually that's what people are talking about when they're time blocking. Um, okay, so Amelia, I want to get to you because I want to talk a little bit about, um, okay. So Kevin, you said I have other time use conflicts as a landlord. Okay. So do you mean that you have things that you can't predict because you are a landlord, meaning things tend to come up, um, sort of unexpectedly? Is that what you mean?
Hi, can you
Hey,
hear me?
Sherri.
Hi,
Hey,
can you hear
how you
me?
doing?
Good, I'm good. Oh,
Um,
you said
so
Siri.
Yeah, that was my Siri that just popped up. So we were just talking about, so there's a couple of things that people wanted to talk about in the group. And so we did a little bit about gold mine pipeline. There was some interest in, I talked about the session. But right now, what we've been talking about is time blocking and how to do that. And my recommendation was to start small with time blocking. Pick a time a day that they can commit to, rather than going for a full time blocking schedule where you've got every single day mapped out in the very beginning. If you're not doing it on a regular basis, start one thing at a time. But Kevin was saying that he's got conflicts as a landlord that get in the way of that.
So, first of all, hi everybody. We accidentally turned this meeting into a Zoom, or a webinar. So, it will go back to being a webinar. Sorry, a Zoom format, not a webinar, where we could actually see all of you, and you can see each other. So, we just went through. First of all, it's great to see some of you. Keston Crawford. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got some peeps in here that I'm like, I've not seen you guys in a while. So, welcome if you're new, if you're brand new to the Catalyst Coaching on Thursdays. I'm Sherri Johnson. This is Jessica Begansky, and I had an unavoidable situation. I apologize. And thankfully, she was able to get us kicked off. For time blocking, here's the thing. 80% of what you are spending your time on is not delivering results. So I want you to think about that for a minute and let that digest. 80% of your time, you are doing things that are not bringing a listing or a sale to the finish line. So I will say, if you're timid by the time blocking exercise, if you're part of Sherri Johnson Academy and you're in coaching with us, or you're company is paying for it and you're on here and you have access to the academy, there is a course called Time Blocking and Time Management where you can deliberately and intentionally set your day with a structured calendar. So I'm going to assume, I know Kevin has another, I don't want to say job, but you have another function in your life that requires time away from doing real estate. And that does that, what we say yes to, we're saying no to something else. So it's literally a matter of prioritization. So I was just on a call with someone yesterday who had this team that signed up for coaching, and their whole thing was, I want to do less. I want to take a back seat. I want to empower and delegate and do only the top 3 things that I want to do. And so when I was an agent, all I wanted to do, I'm still an agent, I guess. When I would have a day, I wanted to go on listing appointments, show houses, negotiate deals, keep them together, and work on marketing and lead gen. That's all I wanted to do. So you have to decide what your 20% that's more important to you is. So if you haven't read the book, I normally don't push books, but I'm in the middle of 10x is easier than 2x. And I would suggest all of you get it on Audible or buy the book, but I have all these coaching clients reading it. Your daily routine is going to dictate everything you do. And before the daily routine, let's be honest, it's literally your mindset. So if you wrote down right now the top 3 priorities of what you have to do in order to X, Y, and Z, and that means I need to sell, I need to list this many houses, I need to have this many sales in order to hit an income number. That's what what it really comes down to. What activities are you doing on a daily basis to make sure those 2 things happen? You have appointments in your calendar or you don't. Like, this is, you're either interested or committed. And when I talk to people who are interested, Jessica, they're like, and they have a lot of buts, but I do this. Okay, you can do all of that. Don't be upset with the results that you're not getting in real estate sales then. So I'm going to talk to those of you that are doing this full time to make X, right? And we're going to put that crazy 10X number up there. There's nothing better than watching someone go from $25,000 a year in income to $250,000 in income. Did they work 10 times harder? No. Is that a better plan? I believe that your time blocking is literally the most essential part of your results. Like, what you're going to get out of putting into a time block session is this. Now, a brand new agent, a seasoned agent, a top performing pro athlete agent who is, at the top of your game, it's always the same. What is the priority and is it on your calendar? If you are not filling the pipeline, you need to devote X number of hours on your calendar to making sure the pipeline is full. I call that lead gen. Sometimes we call it prospecting. Some people don't like that word. I say lead gen. Are you filling your calendar with appointments? Are you filling the pipeline with people? And if you're not doing that piece of it, it doesn't matter. We're not going to have any appointments and we're not going to have any sales. So those 2 things have to happen first. And in your calendar, literally it should look like, what time do you wake up? What's your morning routine? Like, I'm jumping in the deep end. If you have not heard of The Miracle Morning, that is a really good book for those of you who would like, I say accountability. It's more about the best practices for shaping your day. And I love The Miracle Morning. It's not the 5 a.m. club, although you can get up at 5 a.m., but it's not required. The Miracle Morning sets the tone for 6 things that you're going to do. Sometimes quickly, sometimes you do a couple of them longer than the others. But at the end of the day, they're on your calendar. That's how you set your whole day. So 7 to whatever. And then when do you go on appointments? When are you prospecting? When are you sitting at your desk on your phone, connecting with people, whether that's via text or direct message? And then to me, like, I always booked appointments from 2 to 7. Like, do you have a system? Do you say to yourself, I book appointments ideally between this hour and this hour all week. Maybe Saturday looks a little different because it's Saturday. Maybe you'd like to go on listing appointments in the morning. I don't know your schedule, but book the time that you go on appointments. And then book the time that you're going to lead gen, and book the time that you're going to work on micro farming or expireds or whatever it is. What happens is it's really easy to time block. It's really easy to put the stuff on there. The hard part is sticking to it. That's the part where we go, oh, I can't do that because I have to do this. Well, no, you made an appointment with yourself. What if that 20-minute text thing that you were going to do from 3 to 4 p.m. twice a week brought you 5 deals, like it just brought one of our clients? She did it one time. 5 sales from a 20-minute text sprint, one time, 35 texts. It's a pretty good day of texting, wouldn't you say? Connecting with your sphere. She had 5 closed transactions from doing this one activity, which we all, for whatever reason, avoid. We avoid it, and we just hope that someone's going to call us. It doesn't work that way, right? You have to go out and make it happen. So what if you, on your time blocking, you had a 3-session 20-minute text call? I can get into texting, by the way, and text people. And the next thing I know, I'm in my second 20 minutes, right? I'm into 40 minutes. Next thing I know, I'm in Facebook, and instead of just liking everybody's stories, I'm writing them messages. The statistics, and this was a while ago, so it's probably changed by now because everything on social media changes so quickly. But at the time, the statistics show that if you write someone a message in their story rather than just like it or heart it, if you actually write them, hey, you look great, when are we getting together? Every 5 turn into something. We should all be getting on social media for the purposes of generating and connecting and getting referrals or meeting people, or the people you already know, connecting with them. So a 20-minute text sprint can be 1 session or 3 sessions. It's probably not on your calendar though, right? So how do you start? Everyone says to me, well, I don't have any business. Jessica, how do I start? How do I start to get busy? I want all of you to write down right now. It is literally October 30th. And you have today and tomorrow of October, and then you have all of November and all of December of this year. And rather be like those agents who have checked out for the rest of the year, because everybody does. I'm exhausted. The year's over. Nobody's buying anyway. All incorrect, by the way. I want you to write a number down on your piece of paper right now. A couple things. What income would you like to make in the next 2 months? And then what income would you like to make in January? Like right now, just write it down. I don't care what number it is. I mean, honestly, you have to begin with, I'm doing this. And then I'm going to figure out how to do it. I need to have X number of listings and X number of sales in November. And then I need to do this tomorrow and next month as well. I had a coaching call yesterday with a team, and we went around and did this activity. And here's what happened. And it was interesting because one of the agents, after everybody went first, one of the agents said, well, I have such a short pipeline right now. I'm just going to put 1 down. And, I was like, no. I know your pipeline looks sort of low right now. Why don't you start with what do you want to sell and what do you want to make? We have this notion that there's something wrong with thinking that way. The fact is that there isn't. That's the key to this. Changing it from I need to I want my life to look like this. I want to sell 4 houses a month. I remember when I flipped the switch and I said, I'm going to sell 6 to 8 houses a month. I'm going to list 6 to, like, you have to say it before it happens. You have to say it and then believe it and then go make it happen. And so right now, if you feel like your pipeline is low, forget what's on your pipeline for a minute. What is on your list for listings and sales for November? And then what is it for December? And anyone who wants to share, by the way, please shout out a number, because here's the deal. Somebody yesterday said in 2 different sessions, someone gave me they said 4, and I was like, that's awesome. I love it. 4 sales in November, 4 sales in December. I was like, that's phenomenal. You might be writing down 2. Whatever you write down, multiply that by what you make on average per deal. So if your average sale, hypothetically, is 400,000 and you charge 3%, that should be a $12,000 GCI, correct? Multiply that by your plan, your commission split, whatever. If you're 100%, you get 12 grand, right? If you're 80, it's 80% of 12. I think I should know this. Should be 9,600. So 9,600 times 2. That's what you're going to make when you sell 2 houses. By the way, if you have a listing goal and you say, I don't know where I'm getting these from yet, but I'm going to list 2 houses in November and I'm going to list 2 houses in December, those houses are probably going to sell. Most of your inventory and most of your markets is selling in 30 to 60 days. Some of you are a little longer days on market. I get it. But let's just say that if you listed it, it sold in the same month. Wouldn't that be a great plan and plan of action to have a listing goal that turns into a sales goal? Like, you could put down 2 listings and 4 sales. Why would I do that? Well, I'm going to list 2 houses. They're going to sell. And I'm going to sell 2 buyers as well. So I'm going to have 2 listings sell and 2 buyers sell. Does that make sense? Yeah, it should. But we have to do it first here. We have to see ourselves winning and say, it's not if I'm doing this, it's when. And then you go into the day. You know my phrase, you have a listing or sale this week, you just don't know the address. I mean, literally, you have 2 listings and 4 sales this month. You just don't know the address. The addresses, right, of what's going to happen. Some are going to come off of your pipeline. I would challenge most of you have not talked to your B and C people on your pipeline in a long time. We put them in that C category and then we leave them there because we're like, oh, they're C's, they're C's, they're C's. Well, guess what? You made them a C 3 months ago and you haven't checked in. So my fear for you is that you're going to call them and they're going to say, oh, Jessica, we already bought a house. And you're going to be like, right? Opportunities are lost. They go to someone else. So everyone on your list needs a follow-up call, even if you're just checking in to say, how's it going? How are you doing? What are your plans for the holidays? I don't have to talk real estate. I just want to connect with these people. So number 1 action item is to put down the number of listings you're going to have for this month. I'm already in November, sorry, but I want you to write down what you're going to list in November, what you're going to list in December, and then what your sales are going to be in both November and December. This is how we have to think. If you're looking at your pipeline and you have 4 A people, you have 4 people that are A's, well, your next 2 months should look pretty good. You should know that 2 people are going to list this month and 2 are going to list next month if they're A listing leads. Remember, everybody goes on the pipeline. Every time I have this conversation, I know there's someone out there who either hasn't done it yet, and which, by the way, a new team had just started with us, and this guy said, well, I haven't done it yet. I don't think he thought I was going to call on him. And I said, dude, what's in the pipeline? And he said, well, I should have about 6 or 8 million in listings and probably 6 million in buyers, 6, 8 million in buyers. And I said, and this is just floating around in your head, right? And your whiteboard system is great. I love a good whiteboard. I love whiteboards. Your whiteboard is not going to monetize the value. It's not the same system. Your Excel spreadsheet is commingled with buyers and sellers mixed together. So if you don't have the Gold Mine pipeline, I will pull that up here in a minute, and you can scan the QR code and download it and start using it. But I will tell you that in less than 15 to 20 minutes on a strategy call, we have taken people from, I have nothing, Sherri, I have 0. I basically have nothing solid. How many of you feel like that? Like you're like, I don't have anybody buying, because you're only thinking about the next 2 to 3 months. You have people that would move in the next 2 months to 2 years. Please put those people on this list. The 2-year out person is going to buy and sell at some point. And if you put them on this list, it will be with you. If you don't put them on this list, you risk losing them because somebody like me will meet them and close them. And I'll convert that person with enthusiasm and excitement, right? And value. And they'll be like, we're listing our house. And you'll be like, I thought you weren't serious. I thought you were waiting for 6 months, right? So this stat is real. 82% of home sellers will list their home with the first person that goes in the house. 82% of the time, which is why I'm fanatical and maniacal. Some of you already know this. I am going to tell you right now, get yourself an appointment to go see the house. Even if it's a pre-appointment. Like, Jessica, I know we're not selling your house. I know we're not listing it. I'm not coming there to list it. I'm going to throw a lot of value at that conversation to get an appointment. I can save you time and money on the home repair list before you make a list for a contractor. You need me. You don't know what to do. You've lived there for 11 years. You've lived there for 6 years. I know what buyers today want. So I can help you. And we're not listing your house for 4 to 6 months or more even, right? How do you add value? Do you add value? And my father told me, you add value, people will hire you, right? The only way you're going to get hired is if you add value. In our industry, we have to radically differentiate our value because there are so many people running around that unfortunately people think we're all the same when we're not. So if you add really great value, you'll get hired. If you add radically differentiating value, you are operating at a much higher game. Like, you are at the top of your game. You're competing at a higher level. And you're going to win more times. When you add radically differentiating value, you can charge more money. Please write that down, right? If you're in a market right now, and I hear this all the time, we're only getting 2 or 2.5 on buyers. Okay. You can accept that, or you can say, you know what? I'm going to start telling people that I have an exclusive marketing campaign where I will actually go out and find you a house that is not yet listed. Every person I say that to is happy to pay me 3%. They are, even at $1 million, right? So I would say command because it sounds weird, but it's true. Do you have authority and conviction, confidence that, yes, if I had to go to 2.5, if I start at 3, I'm at least going to 2.5. Some of you are starting at 2.5 and dropping to 2. And then telling me that it's the market you're in. I beg to differ. I think you could do better. So many of our clients in coaching have raised their fees through coaching because you can, right? You're able to do that. So I want you to write down the end of the year, and I want you to go into the chat. Is our chat working? Did we say it is or no? Okay. So when you go into the chat, please, and just put your numbers in there. And I want you to put in, oh, good. Some of you already did this. Thank you. Please go in. Please put it in. I need 6 recruits before December 15th. Keston, I love you. By the way, you're an amazing manager, amazing human being, and an awesome, awesome sales leader, but you are great at attracting people. So I'm glad you just put this down here. 6 recruits before December 15th. Hey, everybody, shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon, land on some stars, rather than shooting for the flagpole and just hitting the flagpole. Because the flagpole is great, and I love the flag, but it's not that high. Right? Well, I might do 1. I don't like that. There are 4 weeks in the month. I better stop. I'm on a 2 coffees today or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't even feel that well. Woo! Rhonda Barnwell from Coronado, you're back. Good to see you. My favorite place on earth, the Hotel Del. All right, so please go into, is that Steve Robertson? Oh my God, not the Steve Robertson. I'm so excited. So many great people on here today. Please go into the chat. Amelia, thank you. Now, I think it's just going to me. No one can see all of everybody's answers. So let me change that. Everyone can share with everyone now. Okay, so I want to sell 4 houses a month. Yes. I have a course called Sell a House a Week. Please adopt this mentality. I saw an ad for a woman in my company. It's like literally when I was probably second year, like 20. I'm like 29 years now in the business. I can't even believe I'm saying that. And the ad, she's like posed with her arms crossed, like we always do in the ads, and it says, I sell a house a week. And I was like, I want to sell a house a week. Come on. Like, sounds awesome to say in an ad, right? Selling a house a week. Now, I had already had a goal of 54. I just didn't realize it was a house a week. So 4 houses a month. Amelia's on board. Sonia's on board. Well, she's saying she wants the course, but I believe everyone is entitled. Everyone is eligible. Let me change that word. Everyone is eligible to do this. This isn't just for a few people. Sadly, only a few people do it. Yes, get on board, everybody. Sign up for coaching. I'll tell you right now, you want to do the course, you want to do the things, our coaching, the trajectory of performance gets you there faster. An average agent in our coaching makes $150,000 more in 12 months. Some have made $750,000 more in 1 year. True story. She went from 350 to $1 million in 1 year. So what is what are we doing? Are we hitting our full potential? Coaching isn't making you great just by saying you're great. Coaching brings out the greatness you already have. We're going to give you a link for that, Deborah, in a moment. Actually, Liz, can you put the coaching link in the chat for our friends here? Here's the thing, and Deborah, you can do a 20-minute call with us too. I will tell you right now that I get a front row seat. Jessica gets a front row seat. We get to watch people literally change their lives. When you think about now to the end of the year and into January, I had a November. I was a solo agent with 2 team members who did administrative and marketing work for me. They did not sell houses. I had a November that I listed 13 houses. And I don't know what it was. I had a full pipeline, very busy summer. I don't know. But I know this. Anything is possible. Here's how I think. And if you're a literalist, you're going to be like, Sherri, you're driving me crazy. But work with me here for a minute. I said, people in this business sell 10 houses a month. I could do that, right? They're doing it. And I think part of what you have to do is give yourself permission to do it and not care what anybody in your family is going to think, not care what anybody who is a naysayer in your life is going to think. I mean, I don't know what subconsciously you tell yourselves. I know for me that I have a lot of self-talk. Some of it is great and some of it is not, right? Feelings are not facts, but I'll tell you what you tell yourself every day directs you into action or into inaction. It does. So that old phrase, like, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I don't like that phrase. I actually hate it. And I don't like it because it says can't. But the more I'm in coaching, the more I see people who are like, I can't do that. I can't make a call. I don't want to call people. I don't want to bother people. You're insane. You actually talk to people for a living. So, Liz, if you could also put the get started coaching plans in the chat from our website, that would be awesome. So here's the deal. The once a week thing, it goes like this. I sat there and said, I'm already selling 2 a month. And then I was like trying to figure out how I would map it out on the Goldmine pipeline, which was only called the pipeline of leads at the time. I didn't really officially name that thing until I started Sherri Johnson Coaching. And actually it got its name because the people at homes.com, I was their keynote speaker. They said, why do you call this thing the pipeline? Like, what is it? And I said, agents are sitting on a goldmine and they just don't know it. So you have lots and lots and lots of leads. Let's go back to I'm sitting there trying to figure out how I'm going to do a sale a week, which means you have to list for a month too. Who was that? Sonia, whoever else wanted this, all of you. I'm going to list a house a week. I'm going to sell a house a week. It's kind of a 1-to-1 ratio. If you've noticed, you sell however many listings you have, usually 1-to-1 ratio. You list 10 houses, you sell 10. You list 30 houses, you're going to sell 30 plus with your buyers. So I sat there sort of groveling about how I was going to actually make this happen and how many people needed to be on the pipeline and how could I get to that level of a house a week. And I realized that I was like, there are 4. I hope you get this epiphany, all of you. I hope you have the same epiphany I had. Let's share it with you. It went like this. I sat there thinking, well, there's 2 weeks, 2 sales so far, 2 weeks, 2 sales. Then I went, there are 4 weeks in the month. And out of nowhere, this notion came over in my head that said, if I'm not selling a house a week, I'm doing this wrong. Give me a signal in the chat if that just resonated to you. Because I was like, if I'm not selling a house a week, I'm doing something wrong. I'm spending too much time on wrong things. You're spending too much time on the wrong things. And some of you are not even working 40 hours a week. I'm going to be honest. Some of you are working 80 hours a week and not getting the results you should get. I did that too. I was like burning out. I thought if I worked harder, I'd sell more. Because people told me that. I work hard, Sherri, And guess what? All I did was work harder. So you have to have a plan. Somebody just booked a call. I love it. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Please write down how much money you want to make in January. Can you do that? I'm going to give you a second, real. Nothing happens, right? If nothing changes, if nothing changes. You have to change things in your daily routine. You need to change things in how you think, and you need to change your approach. And my hope for you is that whether you sign up for coaching or not, you jump into something that brings you a plan with results, right? Like 10X, the whole reason 10X works is that it forces us to have 10X action. I have this thing, okay? It's 100 meetings in 90 days. 100 meetings in 90 days. The first month I had 58 meetings. I was obviously an overachiever. And then I was like, is that good? I asked my coach that. I'm like, is that okay? Is that enough? Well, I only needed 30, in 90 days, 100 meetings, or 100 meetings in 90 days. Do the math. Right? I needed like 33 meetings a month. And here I'm at 58. What are you going to do? What are you going to do differently? Because that's the game changer for you. Like I know that our coaching works. So we have a proven, a literal proven system. And it works. And you need a system. And the system is not, this is what I do on a listing. The system is, this is how I generate leads. This is how I make sure I have appointments every single week. And this is how I know I close them, because I track things. I track, I measure, and I rinse and repeat. I just do it again. Okay. So 30K in January. Yes. Somebody put in your goals. If you have goals and you want to do this, you'll do it. If you are here and you're like, God, she's funny, she has great stories. Like, people tell me all the time, I love your stories. I love how you talk. I love your straightforward, unapologetic. That's great. Here's what I love. I love when you do what I tell you to do and it works. When you implement something, when you take action. Learning without implementation is like, it's sad and it's sort of a waste of time. So on your far right side of your sheet, Now is the time. In the next few minutes, we've got 3 minutes left. I want you to write down the action items you're going to do. If you have not downloaded the Sherri Johnson the Sherri Johnson podcast, I want you to do that. The podcast, I have 2 now, actually. And the podcast, one is called You Rock. It's a real estate podcast. And it's got about 300 episodes. I'll show you that. I'll get you the Goldmine Pipeline if you haven't done it yet. And let's see. Oh gosh, where is this share button? Okay. Here's the original, the OG, the podcast that I started. Oh, the new 7. Yeah, the new ones, Kevin. You're already on the new set. So Deborah, 12.5. I love it. I love it. You are all awesome. Okay, this is the original podcast. Go grab it. You see the one that's on the screen, how you can make $50,000 at your next open house. We had a guy on here a couple weeks ago. He had 7 new clients from an open house from the Sherri Johnson strategy. Those 7 are also going to sell their houses. It's 14 transactions, you guys. It was $6.5 million. It's $195,000 in GCI. Hello. That's an open house, right? Grab onto this. You're going to need this, right? This is the new one. It's the one that Kevin's talking about that you said are awesome. Thank you. I kind of like them too. They're really good. Phenomenal interviews, everybody. You're going to want to grab this. It's the Sherri Johnson Show, which is funny to say. Go grab this. It's on all podcast platforms. And then I'm going to give you this. You can schedule a call. I see you, Keston, subscribing. And then here is the Goldmine Pipeline. God, I hope this is the right one. It is. Let's double check. This one, if you don't have it already, it's a life changer. It's one thing to have, this is the right one. So it's one thing to have the pipeline. It's another thing to be coached on it. If you're a manager, you coach your agents on this. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in top line revenue for your office, for your brokerage, whatever. It's a recruiting tool. It's amazing. But again, if you're an agent, it's a lot better to know how to use it, to actually use it, because there are a lot of blind spots in this thing. So this is the Goldmine Pipeline. This is going to revolutionize the way you look at leads, the way you do everything, the way you lead gen. When you have 3 times what you normally sell, for example, you normally sell $4.5 million a year. And on this pipeline, you have 12.5, 14 million. Or you sell 10 million and you have 28 million on your pipeline, you are going to freak out of excitement. They want you to win. You just got to show up. You got to show up and make it happen. And, maybe right now, look at next. I really don't want you looking at next year goal planning yet. I want you to finish this year really strong. What if you were to do 1 more sale or 2 more sales a month? Do the math on what that looks like. Do the math on that. And if you need this again, oh gosh, where is it? Here it is. You can book that call. I saw a bunch of you book a call. That's great. And, our coaching is, this call is meant to be, honestly, a totally free coaching. Come here every Thursday and get coached. And I will continue to do that. We're meeting again next week. We will be back to a meeting format so we can see all of you. And for some reason, I can't get you still see my screen or no? No, you're not. Oh, you are? That's really weird.
No, Sherri, we're just seeing you.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So I can't move my screen around. It's not letting me. So what I want you to do, and I see Pamela Pope. I think you're my friend Megan's mom, but I'm not sure. So if you are, great to see you. Out of Youngstown, Ohio, I think. that's you. I want to know if it's you. So let me know if it's you. Pam from Pamela Pope, Youngstown, Ohio, Megan's daughter. Maybe not. I've met you if it is you. Anyway, guys, let's have the best close of the year. Oh, Richmond, Virginia. Okay, we have the same name. So, guys, the end of the year, maximize it. This is the second best quarter of the year, is the last quarter. But I can't just sit here and say it. We got to actually pick it up, take it and run and make it happen. And this is right now. What do you need to do? What self-talk? What things you have to remove out of your life to make room for the things you're supposed to be doing? 12,500 in the next month and the month after that. Maybe it's you want to make 15 grand a month. I don't know. It can all happen. You just have to start. Start today. Start before you're ready. How about that? That's what the girl on my Peloton says to me when I'm running. Start before you're ready, Sherri Johnson. And I'm like, right? And at the end of that 8 miles or 12 miles, I'm like, I did it, right? You don't always start being motivated. That comes. We're here to help you. We're here to help you. If you are interested in our, before we hang up, Liz, can you throw up the 3-day challenge in November? We had a 3-day challenge on the Gold Mine Pipeline in October, and wow, what a session that was. So there's a 3-day challenge. The VIP is only $97. It's 2 hours a day from 12 to 2 on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'll tell you the dates. This is going to be November 19, 20, and 21 from 12 to 2 Eastern. And here is what it looks like. Oops. And you can join this. I think you can see you can't see my screen. Now you can. So take a look at this, right? 3 days with me, totally life-changing. You can reserve your ticket right now if you want. The regular admission's $57. VIP gives you a session with me. This is wildly successful. People go from 4 million to 19 million in 2 days. Literally life-changing. So mark your calendars. This next one is November 19th, 20th, and 21st. There is a webinar the week before on Thursday, November 13th. You'll get an email for that. Register for that. Seats are limited for this 3-day challenge because we keep it short and small so that we can actually, not short, we keep it the attendance small so we can actually coach each of you. So please sign up for that and make that a priority for you. The people who did it are ecstatic and they're having wild success right now. I just had a coaching call with someone who did this. She went from 4 million to 19 million in a day. You get some assignments and you come back the next day having done the pipeline. I'm going to walk you through the exact steps on how to do the pipeline. Sign up for that. And lastly, please text or email us or me with any questions. If you're out there recruiting and you need help, we'll help you. If you are trying to go get more listings, get more sales, remember, you have to be the first one to say, I'm going to list or sell 4 houses a month. Start with something crazy, right? You need 2 to survive. I needed 2 to live. 4 was awesome. And 6 was out of this world. And that's how I built my business. I just was like, I'm going to shoot for 6 every month. And when I didn't hit 6, I would hit 4. And I'm like, 4 is actually phenomenal too. Right? So go higher. You have what it takes. We're here to help you. I'll see you next time. I'm Sherri Johnson. You guys rock. I'll see you next Thursday, same time. Did you give a coupon code? The coupon code is actually for people that are in coaching already. So if you sign up for coaching, you'll get invited to these for free. So anybody who's in coaching gets the 3-day challenge for free. That's what that is. So if you are in coaching, which I'm not recognizing your name, and I'm sorry, but Deborah, check in, just send me a text message, or if you already set up a call, did you maybe, and I didn't see it. If you guys set up a call, we'll talk about it. Again, if you are part of coaching, you get a VIP pass for this event. If you have not signed up yet, I don't see your name in here yet, but sign up for a coaching call and we can talk about it. But for sure, if your company is paying for coaching, you get in here to the Goldmine Pipeline 3-day challenge for free. We'll give you a pass. That's what that coupon's for. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Make it an awesome listing and sales week. Please set those goals. Know you have everything it takes to make it happen. You just have to have a better strategy and a better plan to execute on. I'll see you next week. Thanks.